Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mud. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're all foes can't fight. From sports to politics.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Hold on, let me get this. Boom, we're done there. Hey, so good morning. Good morning, Fred. Good to see you here this morning. Bright and early as always, and a happy man because, wow, what did the Lions do yesterday? I think JB is going to join us this morning. He said he was going to last night. We were on the phone after the game. Wow. What a Lions game yesterday. They did everything we said that they needed to do to pull out a victory. They did. And it was wow. Good job for the Lions yesterday, making this division even more interesting than it already was. If you're a Cowboys fan, well, there went your playoff chances. Was it 9% now? For the line, for them to make the playoffs, not they lost to the Lions. So yeah, interesting game last night. Hopefully we'll get a Joe and we'll get a JB here shortly or a Broski. Just unreal. Fred, no, I don't have your message here to send you a link. But yeah, big morning. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs ties Barry Sanders now for the most touchdowns by a player under the age of 24. I think that's the verbiage, right? Tied him with the last touchdown of the game, which almost seemed like a gimme touchdown. I mean, it looked like an easy run for him, but look at they did everything they needed to do yesterday. They ran well. They got after Dak early. Dak had what, 2 picks? Here's JB. Wait for his camera to catch up. There he is. They got after they got after Dak early. So they did, like, that was one thing we said they needed to do. Get after him early. They didn't give Dak a chance. Dallas never really got the running game going. So that helped. Offensively, Lions got their game going. I mean, look at the first series or two. Dallas's defense got after him pretty good, right? But then
we had back-to-back field goals, but we didn't allow anything in that time from there on.
I mean, they kind of bend and didn't break. Did the Cowboys defense? They kind of got after him a little bit, but we had a happy victory Friday there. But then they really got after Dak and forced a couple turnovers out of him. Forced a couple turnovers overall. How many turnovers were last night total?
There was 3 turnovers that we received. We forced 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 1 recovered.
Yeah. Defense got on it.
Jack Campbell had the game of his life. 12 total tackles, 6 assisted, a sack, and a forced fumble.
Yeah, he seemed to be always there for the big play. And look at the flags yesterday. Not Ed Hockley, Hockley Jr. There you go.
Sean Hockley, yeah.
Sean Hockley. I wonder how many. I think that's got pissed the guy off every time that people say, "Oh yeah, Hockley." They always say Ed. It's like, oh no, it's Sean.
I don't care what anybody says. Every angle I saw at first contact, that should have been a safety. Even the announcer, Dean Blandino.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wasn't going to go there. I was just going to go more of an overall. Like
there was some bad calls on both sides.
A lot of bad calls.
The
I'm
OPI
sorry.
that we declined, so it ended up not mattering because it was already 4th down. I know Cowboys fans are crying over it, but we declined the penalty, so it doesn't matter.
It didn't make a difference anyways. Yeah, I mean, well, and look at some of the bad calls got masked because they weren't accepted or something else, or it's like, but there were
And
some
they,
bad, some just really just come on, like not even I don't want to call them ticky tacky,
I'll
just
add them in. I got you.
okay, just
Timujo!
morning,
What's
Joe.
up, guys?
So hey, the Lions did everything we said they needed to do yesterday, and they pulled out a pretty nice little victory last night.
Yeah, yeah.
Never
Their
trailed in the game.
backs were against the wall, and they played like it, man. Like
I wrote
the
my
Cowboys,
review.
the Cowboys, man. Like all them turnovers, dude.
Yeah,
Defense.
You know,
I put it in my preview, and I said it on my podcast yesterday. I didn't get a chance to jump in with you guys because I was running late as usual. I sat
no,
there. I said we had to run more zone defense than man, which they did. The reason why they had any yards at all was every time we went in man, the guys got beat. And it was the same guys getting beat every play in man coverage. DJ Reed, Amik Robertson. Yep, the offside should have been a free play, but it is what it is. There was bad calls and missed calls all over the place.
yeah, no, there were. I mean, and look at once again, I think it's easier when it's not your team playing to look at how the bad calls affect stuff sometimes because when it's your team, you usually remember the call you didn't get. You don't remember the call you got, and it went both ways. The call, I mean, there who it affected more, flip a quarter. But there were some really bad calls that just stopped good things, I guess, for both teams.
Yep.
And it's just like I've seen this more the last 2 weeks. And here's the thing: I feel bad because I've seen, overall the referee's been getting better, but the last couple weeks and a couple big games where I'm watching, and like they'll bring, Sarah Torin or the rules expert, right? And they're like, "Yeah, no, that should be overturned. Yeah, no, that's obviously a touchdown." And then you go to the field and it's nope, it's not. And so when the rules experts who are the former refs who have a hindsight of the technology and everything else, in the replay are saying, "Oh yeah, that they missed that. That should be overturned." And then the refs who then look at all the camera feeds, everything, don't overturn it. You're like,
Sterators a joke.
I will say that play that he's talking about, it looked like the player was going to have Jameer Gibbs dead to right. He did a little stutter step, and the guy just dove and went out of bounds on his butt. There on his
Kenny,
face. He face
Kenny
planted.
Clark had the best one of the day though. He got through, and he like looked like, "Okay, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Oh, it just ran past me. Damn it!"
Yeah, I know.
That was good.
I will say that first drive that we had Tristan Colon in because Coyote Awasika wasn't a go. On the 7 dropbacks that Goff had, he allowed 4 pressures. One of them being that Kenny Clark play because he shuffle passed it to Gibbs you were talking about.
Kenny Clark is just sitting there like, I got through. Where's the ball?
Miles
Crap.
Frazier during the draft was touted as a day 2 early second round pick coming into the draft, but there was a bunch of players that fell, which is why he slid. And also, he only played right guard in games. He had only taken snaps at practice at LSU in one game where the center was questionable. So he didn't really move in his playing time at LSU. So he continued to fall. He comes in to replace Cologne after the first drive, and he does not allow a sack. He allows 2 pressures the entire game. And he did have the normal rookie mistakes, a couple false starts, a holding penalty. But he didn't allow Goff to get ate up by that interior offensive line.
Yeah, I will say this one, Bogey Bones, my friend, my golf.
You guys are lucky though. Sorry.
He
I was just gonna say you guys are lucky. CeeDee Lamb went out though.
Let me finish this, please. Poor Bogey yesterday. He watched the show yesterday. He made a massive bet of half his net worth, $2.50. on the Cowboys and lost. We're sorry, Bogey. He now only has half an ass. Hey, we should get him up with B Skrilla. Half an ass, was it half ass cheek, 3 toes?
One
He
ass
said,
cheek and 3 toes. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's all he's got left is 1 ass cheek and 3 toes now. So Bogey can join B Skrilla there. But sorry,
So-
brother.
We did get the bad news on Brian Branch this morning. It is confirmed he has a torn Achilles. He will miss the rest of the season and most of the next year too.
So that's the thing. There were some injuries last night. There were some concussions yesterday, some bad ones.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb had a bad concussion. Thomas Harper, even though he had to be helped. Hutchinson did not have any sacks, but he had 10
No.
pressures and a get-off rate of 0.84 to pressure,
Yeah, no, I was
which
gonna
is
say
the best
without
he's done
getting
in the
too-
last 5 weeks.
without getting too weedy into his stat line, the simple answer is no. But he created a truckload of pressure. Like there were the sacks they did have. It may not have been Hutch, but Hutch was like right there. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
There-
Hutch was effective yesterday. Who was your was it your corner who had the concussion in the first half? That one was really bad. Like the dude couldn't walk, he couldn't do anything, he couldn't stand. It wasn't Reed. Who was it? The concussion you guys had in the first half. JB
What's that? Thomas Harper.
Harper.
He was
Yeah, man,
he was attempting to tackle that Flournoy. And
Yeah, that was-
the
that
iPad
was
off
like
the
he-
side of his
he-
helmet.
he could like he couldn't stand. He couldn't. You
he
could just even tell when he's coming off. He's like, "Where the hell am I?" But that one, and then the CeeDee Lamb one was kind of like weird. But yeah, he got the concussion. His was it wasn't as obvious until I got him off the field and he's trying to stand and he needed the railing in the tunnel to hold himself up.
Yeah.
Some bad concussions yesterday. And really like the CeeDee Lamb one. I'm surprised Dallas fans aren't screaming about that one because it almost looked like the defender pushed him down into the ground, even though he didn't have the ball. And I'm like, okay, I can get it, but at the same time, it's a football play, and the defender has to act as he has the ball. And we see it all the time. But both those concussions were oof.
Man, CD was cooking y'all too. He was on pace for a 200-yard game, dude.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
And it was every time we went into man coverage, as I said, because it didn't matter whether it was a Meek, whether it was DJ Reed or Rock Yassin, whoever was on him, he would break free. And I
Mhm.
said that was the key.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. Like, if CD Lamb didn't get that concussion, he was going for 200, dude. Like, and probably multiple tutties. Like, he was on pace for a monster game.
But yeah,
Jim, I mean, you know what?
Jameer Gibbs had a monster game too, though. Like,
He did.
yeah. Even though he
And
didn't get a
Jim-
lot of yards on the ground, he had 7 receptions for 77 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns.
mhm.
And Jim, you know, I mean, it wasn't just those, but there were some bad calls against Dallas too. Hold on, wasn't done yet. Against
Oh.
Dallas as well. This has been a problem all year. We've talked about it almost every week on the show about the bad calls, and there have been a slew of them, and they've gotten better overall. I want to say, but you know, it's just still been egregious. Some of these OPIs, DPIs, have been kind of like ticky tacky would be too good of a word because they're not even that. They're just kind of like really,
Just bullshit.
just
bullshit.
Where you're like, really, and like I don't want to advocate Joe for like coaches challenge flags on these, but my God, are we getting to that point?
They already tried that, remember? And then guess what? Like, the coach would throw a challenge flag, and then they would go review it, and they'd say, "No, we were right. It was a penalty anyway." And so it was a useless challenge. Like, unless you have like an independent party that's like reviewing it, like according to the rules, like it'll never change. It's just. I mean, and you've made this argument before, Ken. Like, it's the human error part of the game, right? Like, but it's part of the game, and but at the same time, it's like some of these calls you have to wonder if it's actually human error, if it's like human intention. Like that's the thing is like whenever you have subjective calls like that you can make, there's always the potential for shady characters, for fraud,
Oh.
for gambling, for
That's funny. John trying to call me out when I
So,
do a show right after you when I gave the Packers credit for beating us.
so yeah, I'll get that one. I'll get to that one in a minute. I want to
John
get to this
Dorn.
one. That's right.
Yeah.
So I
Um,
love this unstarred real quick. It's funny, Bill, because JB and I were on the phone last night after he did his South Tribune show and after the game, and we both said the same things. Like, hey, he called a good game. I will totally agree with that. Um, but I want to see Campbell call consecutively good games.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We both said the same thing. Like, call consecutively good games. Like, he called a pretty good game last night. Let's see consecutive good games by him, and then Bill, maybe you'll get me saying, okay,
Wasn't that Dean
but
Blandino in the booth for the rules analyst?
yeah, it was yesterday.
And didn't
Yeah,
he say at the time of that the call that everybody's saying it wasn't? He said, "When I see everything here, the ball was over the line at first contact. That's a safety." That
that's
was
what
the
I
first
thought
thing
I
he
heard.
said.
And so then I went to the kitchen to get a drink, and I came back, and it's still 3-3. I was like, what? You know, um, So I was like, okay, yeah. No, Bill, he can still say it. He's a Packer fan. Stop it. He's a
you're not
Packer
going to
fan.
stop Dorn from
He's
saying
not gonna
Fool's
stop.
Gold
Yeah.
Lions.
He will always say whatever he wants about us, no matter what our record is, no matter how we end the season, no matter what happens. He has his opinion. You can't change it. Trying to
No,
change
Dorn
his
though, like
opinion is like trying to change an old man's diaper. You don't want to
now
do
look at
Trying to change the
Jim,
weather.
like Jim, Fred, Bill, they're here every day. Okay, so they're here more than you are, Dorn. And Dorn, you're here almost every day. So yeah, but look at it. I will say, yeah, we do have a lot more Lions fans than normal this morning watching, and that's fine because that's every team after they win a game is kind of more apt to watch the show and revel in victory, whatever day it is, Friday, Monday,
Yep.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, I want to see Dan Campbell call back-to-back good games or put a string 2 or 3 or 4 together, and they've got a hard test. The Lions' schedule is not easy. They've got a hard schedule, as do the Bears and the Packers. The Vikings probably, the Vikings have a hard schedule too, but they have the easiest of the 4, but a hard one nonetheless. Look at this division, still kind of wide open. I mean, now look at we're going to get into the weekend games here in a minute, and it's a lot of war weeks this week.
Hey, kid, could I
Yeah.
just throw out there, when JJ McCarthy is your quarterback, it makes even the easy games hard.
Yeah, well, that's true too. And he's playing this weekend, so
that already happened. You got to play the Bears now. Stop focusing on the Lions. They're in your rearview mirror. Stop looking in the past.
so yeah, that I'll tell you what though, for the Lions need some help because they do not own a tiebreak with the Packers, right? The Packers own the tiebreak. So if for
Right.
some reason we get into a tiebreak situation, which we won't, unless the Lions happen to tie somebody between now and then, it makes almost a tiebreak situation with the Packers impossible. I mean, that's how the tie screws things up, right? There's no tiebreak with the Packers.
No, there's
only
no
2
tiebreak
teams
with the
in the
Packers.
NFL.
They already won.
Really?
They already swept us.
No, there's no
Plus,
tiebreak.
they have the
JB.
tie.
There is no tiebreak.
And they have the
Because-
tie.
Yeah, there's like I'm trying to say, there's no tiebreak because
Right,
the
that-
Packers have a tie, and they're the only team in the division with a tie. So they're either going to be a half a game up or a half a game below, depending on how things shake out, which kind of makes it a little simpler, to be honest with you. We don't have to worry about all the different tie breaks, and we don't have to worry about the math on this, that, the other. Now, look, in this case, if there was a tie, it'd be simple because the Lions own it in the head-to-head, right? But I mean, God, that makes life simple, doesn't it? Thank you, Packers, for having a tie. You make the mathematicians at the NFL's job much easier. Now, what will be interesting if they were to get into a tiebreak situation with Dallas.
Now, I do want to say that not only that, we did get news that Jalen Carter yesterday afternoon, just before the game, had a procedure, and he will not be playing for the Eagles on Monday night. He is out.
Mm.
Yeah,
And with the
I'm
floundering,
looking
with the
at the Jim.
floundering offense and a defense that's been a little shaky lately, that's a huge blow against a good offensive team in the Chargers.
Hey, Bears fans, relish in what I'm about to show you. Two Lions fans saying things that you want to hear. Jim is the Go Bears. You're now my second favorite team. Bill, go Bears, sweep the Packers so we can get in. Good
Actually,
morning, brother.
we
Hey,
talked about it, and
big shout
it,
out to Cam.
yep.
Helped me out yesterday because I was having a jersey conundrum. So my conundrum was, do I put Mac or do I put Fields on the wall? Because I had another jersey case come in, and he's like, "Yeah, you put the Mac on the wall." I thought so. I just need to hear it. So Mac is now on the wall next to Galt and Urlacher. So good morning, Cam. Thank you for that help yesterday.
God, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that they'd go 9-7-1 with their only win being Week 18 versus Minnesota. I don't think that. I think they're automatically on track for at least an 11-win season. On accident, they'll get to 11 wins.
Sure.
But at the same time, the Lions can't go 3-2 in this stretch. That is what I said. I said that right away when we lost to Green Bay on Thursday night. If we go 3-2,
the Packers,
10-7, we're not in. Period.
The Packers can go 3-2 in this stretch. I would say look, they've got the Bears, then they've got who they got after that. It's a tough schedule. God, I knew it. They got Bears, then they go to Denver, then Bears, then they get another hard game, and then Minnesota. So they could go 3-2. They could go 2-3. 2-3 would be a disaster for them. Broncos, yeah, they got the Broncos.
They got the Ravens at home,
and the Ravens. So yeah, those. Look at so Broncos, Ravens, Bears. That's 4 tough games. And look at Minnesota. I don't want to say I'm sorry, Luca, wherever you are hiding out these days. I don't want to say it's going to be a cakewalk for them, but that could be one of those games where Minnesota's like, oh, we can ruin their chance of getting in the playoffs. Hold our beer. The Lions need to win. Yeah, at least 3 of the remaining 4.
Well, like I said, Branch is basically out for the year with a torn Achilles. That requires surgery. It doesn't matter what you do. If it's a torn Achilles, whether it's a partial or a full,
right,
that is a surgery required. It is 10 to 12 months. Somebody said he needs to get a hold of the guy that Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins did to be able to come back early. You know what the difference is? Aaron Rodgers is a QB. He's been able to come back. J.K. Dobbins, every other year, has hurt the same Achilles since that one.
That's what I was just going to point out is Achilles it's like the ACL used to be, right? Like 30 years ago when you tore your ACL, it was like a potentially career-ending injury. Now, like ACLs it's like an assembly line, they go in and get an ACL, but Achilles is a career-threatening injury for sure.
Yes,
like there's a chance that he'll have surgery, but he may never be the same Brian Branch, though.
Yes, Snoop, I'll hit you up. Thank you. Yeah, I did the live from the
Von Poop. I love the name Von Poop. It almost sounds like a Dan Leonard.
No, man. Hey, Snoop's a good dude, man. I did a show with him.
Yeah.
He's got a great show. It's oh crap! I just had the name. I just brain farted it. He's gonna kill me. He's got a great show, man. I watch it quite a bit. Yeah, good show. I don't star him. Let me star him because that lets me know where I'm at.
I know you got other things to discuss.
I'll drop you a message. Let me see. Let me see. Yep. Okay. That. So look, someone said. There we go. This was the message I was looking for. Steve, Lions need teams to lose. Yes, and that's where the Bears come to play for you. If the Bears can sweep the Packers, that might be all you need. That might be all you need. If you win out, that'll be all you need. If you don't win out, you're going to need a little bit more, I think. Um, so yeah,
I-
let me catch up to this. Let me catch up
No,
to the mad starter up here.
I
He's
was
starting all my comments before I get to him. Here's the thing. That's the show. Thank you. Here's the thing. And if you say here's the thing in your argument on the show, like, hey JB, the Lions need to win, but here's the thing. He then
right.
makes you promote his show, which is on every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah. So here's the thing. And he's coming in from Rumble, of course, so you can get him on Rumble. Von Poop there at Rumble. Great guy, great show. Good Bears fan. Stop scarring me, JB. You're making me lose track of where I am. You can say my name, JB. I didn't realize Dobbins was having issues with the Achilles. Yeah, and you know what? Let me add on to what JB was saying. For the quarterback, it's different to come back from an Achilles than would be for a running back or a tight end or a
Or a
corner because of the way they use their body. You know, so there's that. Look at this is that part of the year. You kind of do and you kind of don't, Jim. You control your own destiny in terms of you can only do what you need to do, but these other teams control their destiny. And look, if the Bears Packers split, and let's say both teams go 4-1, well, put it this way: Week 18 might not mean anything to you if the Packers and the Bears both take care of business, and everyone else in the division in the conference take care of business. So, I mean, you do control your destiny, but to a certain point. Yeah,
Well,
Fred's always good to go.
with the way that win for the playoff chances, Dallas at 6-6-1 plummeted to a 9% chance to win to get into the playoffs now. The Lions with the win at 8-5 rose from 32% to 55% chance. And the reason why is they have a couple of tie breaks if people tie them at the lower ranks, not the Packers, not anybody in our division. They're talking about the other wins that they had over teams that beat other teams.
No, I don't think they will, Jim. I mean, look at I look as a Bears fan. I'm like sweep the Packers. I do know though that playing them twice in 3 weeks makes that a lot harder than it needs to be. But then with the Rams, the Sea Chickens, I mean, look at that. The schedule does not favor you. Yeah, the Bears have to hit the Niners too, so that's going to be a tough one for us. But I mean, the Bears are kind of like, look, we're in a nice position right now. I'll say it this way though, and we're going to get to in a few minutes here. We're going to get into our weekend predictions. The NFC West looks like they're going to send 3 teams, and we might only send 2, which we thought we'd send 3 teams maybe this year. But if the Bears win this weekend, they're kind of in a driver's seat more, right? Whoever wins this weekend's kind of got the driver's seat.
So
So this is a big game, Bears Packers, because for those 2 teams, it makes the road a lot easier. Whoever wins this week, and takes a lot of pressure off. Because if the Bears win, right, they go up what 2.5. So it makes it a little bit easier. That gives them a little more wiggle room. But all these teams we all have tough teams in the schedule. So, and like I said, I want to see Dan Campbell call back-to-back good games or 3 good games in a row. I still think they need an OC next year, but
I agree.
this definitely makes yesterday makes it a lot more interesting. So let's kind of get into some of this.
So
We got some big games, and so let's start out. I'm just gonna go right down the schedule I've got here on Bleacher Report, the way it shows up on my phone. So the first game we'll go to, guys, because we're about that point of the show. We got to get some weekend predictions in. We got the Bengals with Joe Cool back, going to a Bills team that has not been very consistent this year. The line is 5.5 to the Bills. Joe, who you got?
Damn.
And that Bengals defense was insane against the Ravens. 5 turnovers.
Yeah, but
And just
see,
in time for predictions. Here's Broski too.
but the Bills,
Hey, bro,
the Bills really need this one, man. Like they got to keep winning to stay in that playoff picture. So I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Yeah, Broski, we just started predictions. The first one we're doing is Bills Bengals, and the Bills are the 7th seed right now. So this game's in Buffalo. Who do you got?
Yeah, Burrow's back, right?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
back.
Yeah, I smell upset in this one, man, because everything points to the Bills need it, blah blah blah. I think it's one of those end of the year. Welcome back, Joe Burrow. He's going to light them up and come out with an upset.
What do you got, JB?
I took the Bengals as well because of how they played defense. Because the Bengals defense has been dog shit.
Yeah, the
mean,
Bills
Bills
really
defense.
need it. It's at home. I think on Wednesday I took the Bills. Niners are on I think it's the last week of the bye weeks too, isn't it? I'm going to go with the Bills to squeak one out, but Burrow is going to make this one damn interesting. And I really want to see kind of how I want to see if Dan Campbell can have two good games back to back play calling. I want to see the Bengals defense string two games back to back together.
Yeah.
Here's another massive game, huge game. Look, it's War Week, and these War Week NFL schedules are happy because they all mean something for the most part. Colts at Jaguars. I mean, this is the division for them right here. It's kind of like we get Bears Packers at the end. Colts Jaguars. Winner wins the division. The Colts have the line -1.5 over the Jags at home. Broski, who do you got?
I've been picking against the Jags all year, and I think the Colts are coming back down to earth. I like the Jags at home in this one.
Okay, JB, what you got?
I'm taking the Jags. They've been playing better defense. Sauce Gardner is out. That's a huge blow when they just traded for him to lose Sauce Gardner already when he was playing well.
Yeah. Joe, who you got?
I think the line kind of says it all. Like, I think I'm gonna go with the Jags too. I think they're.
Before I make my prediction, hold on.
Oh,
I'm in Duval or close enough to Duval. I gotta be careful of the stray bullets. I'm gonna go with Duval too. Look, and the thing for me is the Colts offense has been pulling a disappearing act for the last game and a half. So that's the other problem there. This one, this one's the laugh of the week. But it could get interesting. Isn't Jaden Daniels back this week? The Commanders go to the Vikings. The line's 1.5 to the Vikings. Who do you got, Jeremy?
Anybody but the Vikings.
What do you got, Joe?
Damn, this is a hard one. Who's playing quarterback for the Vikings? Is it JJ?
AJ.
See, I want to pick the Commanders because Jaden Daniels is coming back, but I just wonder how he's going to play, like coming back from injury. And the Commanders they've been on a slide ever since that Bears game, man. Like,
we did ruin their season.
What?
Damn.
Put it this way. Minnesota quarterbacks the last 2 weeks, and it's that interesting stat line I got to announce on Wednesday night. If they'd have spiked the ball every play, it would have been a better QBR than what they got throwing the football.
Well,
let me ask this: is anyone not taking the Commanders?
I'm going to go with the Commanders, because
Yeah, I'm
Scary
gonna go with
Terry's
the
back,
Commanders,
right?
too.
Scary Terry and Jaden Daniels.
Terry's back,
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Give me
That's whole
the
story.
Commanders.
Yeah. We'll see what maybe should have been for the rest of the season after the Bears ruined it. Here's another one. This one gets kind of interesting because the Jets may only have 3 wins, but all 3 of their wins have come relatively recently, and the Dolphins have actually shown some moxie and some fight lately. And with the Jets, it's ironic they get rid of their best 2 defensive players, and their defense almost seems to have gotten better. So we got the super violent, extremely mad aquatic sea mammals, the Dolphins, at the New York Jets. Broski, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Jets at home in this one. The Tyrod Taylor Jets will defeat the Bottlenoses.
Damn.
What do you got, JB?
I said the same thing because the last time Miami won in cold weather, Dan Marino was a quarterback.
What do you got, Joe?
Man. I'm going to say the Dolphins take him to the rape cave, dude. Like,
Awesome.
Have you seen? Wait. Have you seen the Dolphins play in 20-degree weather with a 15-degree
No.
wind chill?
I
It's
haven't.
not
I don't
good.
watch too many Dolphins games,
So-
but I just don't have
I'm-
much faith in the Jets, and the Jets are
I'm-
playing. The Jets right now are playing for a draft spot. So
I'm
I
going to
don't
go
know.
with the Jets, but here's why. They're going to call a play with Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields on the ball field, and they're going to pitch it to Justin, who's going to run, and he's going to score. The other Ken, by the way, okay. Let me get this out before I get to the next game. Ken is okay. There's nothing wrong with Ken. I don't want to put his personal business out there. Let me just say that within his circle of family, so to speak, there is a health concern with a member, and they are taking time off for that. So I'll let him explain that further when he returns. Okay, the next game, this one. Speaking of playoff, I mean, okay, this one. If anyone, Saints Buccaneers, is anyone taking the Saints?
Not a chance.
Anyone?
Nope,
I'm ready for you if you are.
not me.
Hoss, are you watching? Okay, we'll move on. Yeah, Baker's going to bake more bread, and we're going to see more Uber Eats commercials. Is it Uber? Yeah, those are Uber. Okay, the Sea Chickens at the Falcons. Anyone taking the Falcons in this game?
Give me 1 second if you don't mind. See chickens at Falcons, man. Falcons are so Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay, seconds over. What now?
Yeah, give me the Seahawks, man. Give me the Seahawks.
Okay.
I can't go against them.
Okay. Broski had to take a minute to see.
I did. I actually did.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, I'm cool with that. Another massively huge game. Division implications. Winner is a division. Both teams are 6-6. Who would have thunk it for one of them the way they started the year? The Steelers at the Ravens. The Lions 5.5 to the Ravens. Joe, I'll start with you.
This is tougher than it should be because in the last 3 games, Lamar has 0 touchdowns, like 3 fumbles, like 2 interceptions. Like he's not playing good ball, so it makes it tougher for me than it should be. But if they're gonna turn this thing around and win the division, they have to win this game. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
JB.
Well, this just in. He had to come in to say hi. It's Kitty Ken. How you doing, meow?
Meow.
That was just for you, Steve. I had to bring your buddy back. But yeah, I think I'm taking the Ravens because the Steelers are so Jekyll and Hyde on defense. You don't know what you're going to get. Offensively, we know that Aaron Rodgers may play, but he's dealing with a wrist issue. I think it's a mistake. They should just let Mason Rudolph run, and there is a chance that Lamar Jackson doesn't play. He's a game time decision.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you know what though? For the Ravens though, going to their backup is like the drop off is so small. I mean, Huntley is the best suited backup on a team, maybe outside of Mitch Trubisky in Buffalo, because like it's the same situation like where Mitch and Buffalo they work, and that's the only place Mitch will probably ever work in a game. There's the same thing for Huntley with Baltimore. You put him in, it's like Lamar who for a game or two, they'll be fine. And Bears fans, we know because we've lost to him twice. Broski, who do you got in this game?
Yeah, both starting quarterbacks banged up. Both not playing that well. Both legendary coaches, actually. I almost want to say have lost the locker room for each team, which is crazy. I'm gonna go with the Ravens because they're at home, and I actually think Huntley is a solid backup. Give me the Ravens.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens because look at last game was the most uncharacteristic Ravens game I've ever seen with 5 turnovers, the amount of fumbling, and Harbaugh had these guys running ball protection drills all friggin' week. They don't get embarrassed 2 weeks in a row like that. I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. All right, we got about 20 minutes. We got more than a handful of games left. We still have the really big one to talk about. All right, this one, oh my goodness gracious. Browns are at home against the Tennessee Titans. The only question I have here, because I don't think anyone here is going to take the Titans, Broski. But how many sacks does Garrett have is probably more interesting than who's going to win the game. JB, why don't you start us off?
I say at least 8.
he gets to 30 in this game.
I'm not kidding.
He
All
got-
week I've been thinking 5 sacks for Garrett this game. I'm not bullshitting because he's really going to try to hit 30 sacks on the season, and this is the game that's going to line him up to do so.
Well, let's not forget he had 10 sacks in the Raiders game, and the Titans O line is worse.
Dude, I honestly think he's getting 5 sacks this game.
And, you know, I'm gonna give a score prediction on this one. It's gonna be Browns 8, Tennessee 0, and all 8 points are coming off Miles Garrett's safeties.
Dude, you might not be far off on that one, man. I'm thinking it's like a 16 to 3 game or something like that, 16 to 6 or something.
And no, all the scoring for Cleveland will be off safeties. There we go. I mean,
All right.
yeah.
I have a
Browns are
couple
gonna win
things
this
to
game.
put in my show, so I got to bounce out. I
All
want to thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I haven't changed my picks from what I said the other night because I picked them off of the news that I had.
Yep.
All right. Have a
That's
good night,
good.
guys.
Later,
All right,
JB.
that's good. I'm going to join JB right after we're done here. He'll be, of course, talking more about last night's Lions game. We're going to continue on with the picks, though. This one's going to be Joe. I'm sorry. Are you taking your Raiders this week at home against the Broncos?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. We're going to skip that.
No.
Everyone's taking the Broncos. Okay. Another one that's got interesting, and you're like, I feel bad because the Cardinals are 3-9, the Rams are 9-3. The Cardinals have been a tough out for most of the year, but they got to be demoralized, and the Rams got to be pissed. Rams at Cardinals, the line is disrespectful. It's 8.5 points to the Rams. Is anyone going to take the Cardinals in this game?
Not me.
Come on, I'm ready for someone to do it. Someone in the chat.
Not I.
Damn, okay. All right, now we get to another one of those big, huge games that with monstrous freaking implications on December 7th at 7:20 p.m. The day that will live in infamy, by the way, December 7th, 1942. The number one defense in the land goes to Arrowhead. Yes, it's the Texans and the Chiefs. Broski, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans in this one. I'm like I said, I was riding with the Chiefs longer than most. I feel I'm not doing that anymore, and I really love that Texans D line. Give me the Texans.
Joe?
Man. As it pains me to do so, I'm gonna have to pick the Chiefs. December football, like this is when we're gonna find out if the Chiefs really are done with their dynasty. You know, if they really do, if they really have taken that big step back that we think they have, because Patrick Mahomes has just done it too many times for me to go against him in December.
I hear you.
I don't have faith when it comes down to the quarterbacks. I have more faith in Mahomes than I do in Stroud. But that defense in Texas, man, and it's better than what KC just faced in Dallas on Thanksgiving. Excuse me. It's hard for me to go with the Chiefs. The line's 3.5, so it's basically almost a toss-up by Vegas standards. In Arrowhead, I think the weather might be a bit of an issue for Texas a little bit. Yeah, close game, but you know what? I'm going to say the Texans because, oh my God, that's going to make that division just even more interesting than the AFC South. Texans get the win, I think, and the Chiefs' playoff hope start to dwindle so Trav can start playing his wedding with Taylor a little bit sooner. I think the Chiefs just don't make the playoffs. They've made it interesting. I'll give them all the credit in the world. I think this game is going to be really interesting too, but I think at the end of the day, the Texans are going to be a little too much for them. It's going to be a tough one. All right, this one will be fun. Eagles at Chargers. The line is 2.5 to the Eagles, who are on a losing streak, mind you. And so they're probably a little mad. But look, man, the Chargers are well coached and they're a good football team. Joe, who do you got?
The Eagles are still very much in the race, but the Chargers need this game. And the Eagles just got smacked. Like, I think the Chargers just need it more. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
What do you got there, broski?
Eagles on paper, I mean, they still look like a good team, but after being up there and Dude, there's the players on the team are fighting with each other. The players are fighting with the coaches. There's even coaches fighting with coaches. This reminds me of the other year when the Eagles just fell off and fell off hard. Traveling cross country, I'm going with the Chargers.
So here's the interesting thing, fellas. The line right now is 2.5 to the Eagles to go out to LA and beat the Chargers. And I think I took the Eagles on Wednesday, but I've been thinking about this game more. Once again, any Harbaugh coach team is a good team. And the only thing I worry about for the Chargers is that O line against that
Yeah.
D. The
Banged up.
Philly offense has been dysfunctional at best, but that D has got to be looking for some revenge after the Bears just basically handed them their lunch. I'm gonna go with the Sheagles. I'm gonna break with you guys on this one. I'm gonna go with the Sheagles. I just think that defense is going to be just salivating to get some revenge after last week's performance. And the Chargers O line isn't going to move them around like the Bears O line did. Not with their backups playing and everything else that they've got going on. I think it's a good game. I think the line might be close, 2.5. Yeah, it's gonna be a field goal. It's gonna be a close game. I agree with Broski. The Chargers need this game big time as well. But man, and besides, if the Eagles win, that kind of really kills the Cowboy chances even further. So, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. Now,
Yep.
of course, the last game we got is the game everyone the flex game. It got flexed. Bears Packers has been flexed twice this year. This week's game got flexed to the Fox game of the week, which means we get to hear Tom Brady. And then the next game it got flexed to the 7:20 spot on was it Saturday. So Bears Packers, the line is disrespectful at best, disrespectful. 6.5 to the Packers. And the reason I say that is disrespectful is because they did not see what the Bears O line just did to a really good defense. Yeah, I get it. They got Micah Parsons, but I mean, come on. I think that line was a little disrespectful. But Broski, let me start with you on this Bears Packers game in Lambeau. Which, by the way, I'll add one other weird statistical fact. It's weird because in the 100+ year history, the Bears have never beaten the Packers at Lambeau twice in the same calendar year. Asterisk. The asterisk being, though, really, that's only been an eventuality since the beginning of the 18-week season, in which week 18 is now in January. And it just so happened week 18 last year, the Bears were in Lambeau. And I think this might be the first attempt even at this because I don't think it's happened before. But it's one of those weird little factoids people are throwing out there. What do you think on this Bears Packers game, Bros?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've actually been confident in a Bears Packers game. And I want to take it back a step back to last week. After the game in the locker room, Jonah Jackson stepping up and just saying, "Yeah, we're gonna bring this to Green Bay. Like we're already talking about Green Bay in the locker room celebration, like after, but not like in a celebratory mode, like actually like being dead fucking serious, like getting everyone together." Jonah Jackson, Dahlman, Tooney, Darnell Wright, and now their latest and greatest 6'8", 320-pound, pissed off, athletic Ozzie Trapillo. I think this line is going to play like a veteran line and actually just bring it to the fucking Packers' mouth and just run that fucking ball down their throat. I'm so looking forward to this. I really feel like the Bears are going to win. I feel like they match up in a number of areas very well against the Packers. And I think they'll create a couple turnovers. And the O-line will do its thing, and I think the defense will do enough. And I'm gonna go with the Bears in this one.
Hey, Joe, do you think Broski likes Ozzie Trapillo?
I mean, it's not quite my level of like for Brock Bowers, but it's he's a fan for sure. Yeah, so I see this being a really physical game. I think the Bears are gonna and I'm not a Bears fan, so I don't watch every Bears game, but I just think that the Bears' formula for success in this game, I think they're going to try to run the ball right down the Packers' throat.
Yep.
And I think that's a smart move. You have a big, strong offensive line that has held up all year. I don't want to put the ball. I don't want Caleb throwing 30 times with Micah Parsons back there. Like, and I trust the defense. Like, you're generating turnovers. Like, I say force Jordan Love to beat you. Like, force him to, especially with his depleted wide receiver core, like, and he has no craft. Like, they're missing weapons. I think the Bears have a perfect opportunity right now. And I think you just lean heavy on the run game and on your defense and grind it out. I'm gonna go with the Bears in this one.
Yeah, I think we'll see some more passing than maybe we think we're going to see, because obviously everyone's like, "Oh, the Bears are going to run it down their throat," and yeah, they probably are. But they're going to do some passing too, because Green Bay knows they're going to run it down their throat too, and that's going to create some passing opportunities. And we don't have to stretch the field. We don't have to do these plus 20-yard throws in bad weather. This is the time of year where I think, like I've said before, I think this will change in the NFL as more teams are going to dome stadiums, which makes sense financially for teams to do so. For the football purists, we hate it because we like to see them outside in December. But for making money, domes make sense because now you get WrestleManias and Final Fours and Super Bowls. But I think it's gonna be the Bears are doing. Bears did last week what good teams do in the late part of the season with nasty weather games outside. They were able to run. I don't see the Packers stopping this run game any better. Well, they're going to be a little bit better than the Eagles. I don't think anyone could be as bad as the Eagles were last week on the Bears when it came to run. And now that they know it's coming, they're going to be a little better than the Eagles. But I expect the Bears offense will hum number one in the NFL, number one running team in the NFL. Excuse me, over the last 10 weeks, number one offense over the last 10 weeks. Number one in takeaways for the whole season. Those are good stats to have coming into a game. I think the Packers, they can run. For me, what's going to be interesting is the Bears linebacking core, how it holds up. I know we might have some people coming back from injury, or we may not. If they don't come back this week, I'm not mad, because look at our number 5 and number 6 guy that have been playing the last 2 weeks.
Playing great.
I have not had reason to bitch about them. They've been playing pretty good. Well, I mean, there's some runs maybe they should. You wish they would have gotten, maybe instead of 7 yards, 3 yards. But I'll take those. They're playing good. So the Bears are probably a more complete team coming in health wise, for sure. We have our tight ends, we have our receivers, we have our line, we have our quarterback. I think the D line, though, for the Bears Montez Sweat has to shake off last week's game where we had no sacks. They did make Hurts uncomfortable. Well, they need to make Jordan Love uncomfortable, and they need to make Jordan Love make some of those famous mistakes he makes when he's uncomfortable. Everyone remembers that interception earlier this year where he threw it in the end zone and his receiver is 15 yards away. And people were like, "What the hell?" That's what we need. We need to create some of that. We need to create a turnover too. And look at in games where the Bears are plus on their turnover in any shape, form, or capacity, they're undefeated this year. In games scored under 20 points, where the Bears have scored under 20, they're 1-1. If they score above 20, they're undefeated. So, right? Yes, because week 1 maybe. No, they're not undefeated because of week 1. So since week 3, let me put it that way. I'm digging this Bears team. I think Bears fans have a right to have an attitude about this game. I think the line is disrespectful. I think the Bears feel disrespected. And you know what? Keep doubting us. That's what they're saying. So, yeah. Swift has been good. Monongai's been good. Caleb's been good. I'm going with the Bears. It's going to make for a really good rematch in a couple weeks in Soldier Field. But
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bears. I mean, Monongai's got an ankle, but he'll play. They'll just tape him. These guys haven't been practicing. I don't look at the injury reports too deeply right now with these questionable guys. Because they're questionable, they're playing for the most part. But I think the Bears
Yeah.
are healthy too.
And
The
one
Bears
thing
have
I
a
was,
chip. Go ahead, Broski.
I was going to say, I just wanted to add something. So I actually do think the Packers are going to come out and kind of give the Bears a taste through their own medicine and try to run the ball down the Bears' throat as well. Like I think
Yep.
Josh Jacobs and that what is it, Emmanuel Wilson, the other running back, are both good running backs, and they're going to come out and test that Bears defensive line up the middle, just like the Bears are going to try to test theirs. So it's fundamental football. It sounds like old cliche, but you gotta run the football and you gotta stop the run. And that's what it's going to come down to.
I
I think
also just wanted
ahead,
to
Joe.
throw in there that so that comment said like that Swift has been doing good lately, but he thinks that Caleb is gonna have to win it. Like I actually think I'm not putting all my hopes on Swift. If I'm the Bears, I'm handing Monongai the ball at least 20 times, dude. Like that's just me. Like
Monongai's got an ankle, so yeah, I don't think they'll do it 20 times like that. But yeah, I think Monongai, you're gonna get a steady dose of Monongai because Monongai is
mhm.
kind of like look at to talk about the Lions. He's Monty to Gibbs. That's the role there. So he's gonna soften up the Packers for Swift. But
Mhm.
Swift, the thing about Swift because of the way last year went out, Swift really got better through the pipes last year than he was when he got to Chicago. Like that's one area of his game that you can see a marked improvement. He can run through the sticks if he has to. And so I think you might see him not always going to the edge. I think the Bears will run him inside just to throw the Packers off because lately, last couple games, he's been 90% to the edge. I think the Bears will throw a little bit more of Swift through the pipes just to keep the Packers off their game a little bit because he can do it. He's a lot better at doing it than he was last year. Um, God forbid he breaks one through the middle because in this game will break open.
Yeah.
Um, Caleb doesn't have
Monongai
to
is your
win it.
battering ram, though. Like I want to keep
Caleb
pounding him into that Green Bay defense and tire him out.
The only
You
thing
know.
with Caleb, Jim, is Caleb just needs to do what he's doing. Like, I'm not mad when half of his incomplete passes are throwaways. Keep doing that. If
Mhm.
it's not
Just
there
don't
and there's
turn the
nothing,
ball over.
just get rid of it. And that's what he's been really good at doing. And he's done a couple plays with a quickness, like the one play against the Eagles, he got the ball and he immediately threw it away. Like immediately threw it away. Like he just knew the second he got the ball, oh, this play is fucked. And he got rid of it. Didn't try to Superman it, just knew it, got rid of it. Let's go get a different play. And the next play went out, got the first down, and they did well. So that's what Caleb's got to do. And he's gonna they gotta hit these, a lot of Luther Burden streaking through the middle, hit some tight ends. This is going to be look. There's a reason why they made it the game of the week. But there's so many good War Week division leading games. We got 3 this week where the division lead's going to change hands or could change hands. Some good football this week, gentlemen. We're gonna have some good football
I
this
think
week.
Jordan Love is going to throw at least one interception in this game too. I'm just throwing it out there. I think he's going to get picked because I think he's going to have to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is a situation too, like last week. Packer fans, oh well, look at Jordan Love has the least amount of interceptions. Well, before last week, it was Jalen Hurts. So, you know, I mean, look at Hurts's comment. Well, we're the number 1 team in the NFL with not giving the ball up. Really, yeah, their 2 turnovers really bit them in the ass. So, Packer fans, be careful what you say there because the Bears have a way of taking those words in turnover land and going, "Oh, really? You don't do turnovers, huh?" Hold our beer. Great, gonna be some great football though this weekend, boys. Great
Mhm.
football. Don't forget, we've got the Packer Backer boys. They're going to have their show tonight to talk how the Packers they think will beat the Bears. That's going to be their discussion tonight at 7 p.m. Don't forget, Sunday we got pregame. House Hall will be at 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon on the East. We are going to have a few Packer fans on the show, so that could be interesting. And don't forget the Red Zone rants that happen throughout. I think there's one. We got the noon show today. We got Red Zone rant Sunday morning before the Bears show as well. That's mostly Packer driven. So if you're a Bears fan, want to go talk some trash, that's the perfect place to do it. But boys, great week this week. Ken will be back hopefully next week. Hope everything's going well with the situation they got there. We got some great football to watch. Can't believe it's Friday already. Man, the week's fly.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Snoop, coming in from Rumble. I'll drop you an email here in a second. Everyone enjoy football this weekend, and we'll see you right back here Monday morning so we can go, oh my God, did you see that? for the games this weekend. Everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you real soon. Bear down.